Revealing how much it costs to run a 10 million pound car collection. At first glance, a 10 million pound car collection looks like the ultimate dream. Glossy paint reflecting soft studio lights, engines that sound like orchestras of power, names like Ferrari, Bugatti, Lamborghini, Porsche, and Rolls-Royce lined up like trophies of success. To the outside world, it's luxury, freedom, and status on four wheels. But what most people never see is the real cost of keeping this dream alive. The illusion of ownership. Buying a 10 million pound car collection is only the beginning. In reality, the purchase price is the cheapest part of the journey. Once the keys are in your hand, the countdown begins. Every car starts demanding attention, care, and money constantly. A hypercar doesn't sleep quietly in a garage, it waits. And when it wakes up, it sends a bill. Insurance, the first reality check. Insurance alone can feel unreal. For a collection of this value, annual insurance costs can easily range from £150,000 to £300,000. Each car needs a custom policy, agreed valuations, limited mileage clauses, and specialist insurers who understand that a minor scratch could cost more than a brand new family car. And that's without driving them aggressively. Storage isn't just parking. A 10 million pound car collection doesn't live in a normal garage. Climate-controlled storage is essential. Temperature, humidity, dust, and even lighting must be perfectly balanced. Whether it's a private car vault or a luxury storage facility, costs can reach £8,000 to £15,000 per month. That's up to £180,000 per year just to keep the cars sitting still. They're not parked, they're preserved. Maintenance, the silent killer. Here's where the real shock begins. Even if you barely drive them, exotic cars hate being ignored. Fluids expire, seals dry out, batteries die, tires flat spot. A routine annual service for a supercar can cost £5,000 to £15,000 per vehicle. For a 10 to 15 car collection, that's £100,000 plus per year, minimum. And if something breaks, a Bugatti brake service alone can cost more than £40,000. One unexpected repair can destroy an entire year's budget. Fuel, fluids, and reality. Fuel costs might sound small compared to everything else, but premium and race-grade fuels add up fast. Add specialist oils, transmission fluids, and cooling systems, and you're easily spending £20,000 to £30,000 annually, even with limited driving. Ironically, driving the cars less often can make costs higher. Transportation and logistics. These cars aren't driven everywhere. They're transported in enclosed trailers, flown overseas for events, or delivered to manufacturers for servicing. Each move can cost £2,000 to £10,000. Multiply that across shows, track days, auctions, and services, and logistics alone can exceed £50,000 per year. Staff behind the scenes. Many collectors quietly employ help, a private mechanic, a collection manager, or detailing specialists. Paint protection films, ceramic coatings, interior care. Nothing is cheap at this level. Staff and detailing can add another £60,000 to £120,000 annually. The final number no one talks about. So what does it really cost? When you add insurance, storage, maintenance, transport, fuel, and staff, a 10 million pound car collection can cost £500,000 to £800,000 every single year, and that's without major repairs or buying anything new. That's the price of standing still. Why do people still do it? Because for some, these cars aren't expenses. They're passion, they're art, their mechanical history frozen in motion. Every ignition start, every exhaust note, every perfectly preserved curve reminds the owner why they accepted the cost. It's not about logic, it's about emotion. The truth behind the dream. A 10 million pound car collection isn't a sign of wealth alone. It's a commitment. A commitment to constant responsibility, endless bills, and obsessive care. And once you step into this world, there's no pause button, only maintenance, management, and money. Luxury isn't free. It's financed by discipline. The doors slide open silently. Inside, the air is cool, perfectly filtered and faintly scented with leather and oil. Rows of cars rest under soft white lights, Ferraris glowing like molten metal, Lamborghinis sharp as weapons, a Bugatti sitting low and quiet like a sleeping animal. Together, they represent over 10 million pounds in automotive perfection. To most people, this looks like the finish line: success, freedom, victory. But this room is not an ending. It is the beginning of an endless bill. The moment after the purchase, the day the collection is completed, is strangely anticlimactic. The contracts are signed, the wires are sent, and the cars arrive in enclosed transporters worth more than most houses. For a brief moment, there is pride, maybe even silence. Then the emails start coming. Insurance confirmations, storage requirements, service schedules, battery maintenance alerts, tire age warnings, software update notices, manufacturer recalls. Owning a 10 million pound car collection means you never stop managing it, even while you sleep. Insurance, paying for fear. Insurance isn't about accidents, it's about risk. Each car requires a specialist underwriter. Millage limits must be negotiated. Valuations must be reviewed annually. One wrong estimate and a total loss could become a legal nightmare. A single hypercar can cost £20,000 to £40,000 per year to insure. Multiply that across an elite collection, and suddenly, before a single engine has been started, £200,000 is gone. And this is for the privilege of hoping nothing happens. The garage that costs more than homes. You cannot store cars like these in a normal space. Concrete sweats, moisture creeps in, temperature shifts destroy seals, interiors, and electronics. So you build or rent a sanctuary. Climate-controlled, 24/7 monitoring, backup generators, fire suppression systems that won't destroy carbon fiber, security that rivals a small bank. Monthly cost? £10,000 to £15,000. Annually? Another £150,000 to £180,000 just so the cars can remain untouched. Luxury doesn't like neglect. It punishes it. Maintenance without mileage. Here's where the lie believed: if you don't drive it, it won't cost much. The truth is brutal. Supercars and hypercars deteriorate when idle. Fluids break down, rubber hardens, electronics fail, software ages, batteries die quietly, then violently. Annual servicing for a supercar is mandatory, even if the odometer barely moves. Ferrari, £7,000 to £12,000. Lamborghini, £6,000 to £10,000. Porsche GT models, £5,000 to £8,000. Bugatti, whatever Bugatti decides. Across the collection, £100,000 to £120,000 per year disappears just to keep everything healthy. And that's best case. When something breaks, this is where reality hits hardest. A carbon ceramic brake replacement can cost £30,000 to £40,000. A transmission issue? 6 figures. A cracked carbon panel? Months of waiting and tens of thousands more. Manufacturers don't rush. Parts are exclusive. Labor is specialized. And you don't argue, because you can't. One failure can cost more than an entire normal car collection. Fuel, fluids, and the cost of motion. Even moving these cars cost money. They demand premium fuels, specialized oils, rare hydraulic fluids, race-grade coolants. Every fluid change is a surgical operation. Annual running fluids alone can reach £25,000 to £35,000 annually, even with limited driving. Ironically, driving the cars carefully can be more expensive than driving them hard. Transportation, because you can't just drive them. Track day, enclosed trailer. Car show, professional transport. Overseas event, climate-controlled air freight. Each trip costs £2,000 to £10,000. Multiply that across shows, track days, auctions, and services, and logistics alone can exceed £50,000 per year. The cars travel better than most humans. The invisible workforce. Behind every immaculate collection is a team no one talks about. Detailers who spend days perfecting paint. Technicians who rotate tires monthly. Managers who coordinate services, renewals, documentation, and value protection. Even minimal staffing costs £70,000 to £120,000 annually. These cars don't care if you're busy. They demand attention on their schedule. The final reality. Add it all together: insurance, storage, maintenance, repairs, transport, staff, fluids, and consumables. The true cost of running a 10 million pound car collection lands between 500,000 to 800,000 pounds every single year. That's without buying a new car. That's without crashes. That's without market shifts. That's the price of standing still. Why people accept this life? Because when the lights dim and one engine fires up, when the sound fills the room and vibrates through your chest, it doesn't feel like money. It feels like power, history, achievement. These cars are not transportation. They are proof. Proof that someone dared to want more and paid the price willingly. The truth no one admits: a 10 million pound